Barry, take it, Barry, take it. Yeah, look at him go. Look at him go. Look at him go. He dances to his own tune. He doesn't need any music, Ellie. He's dancing to his own tune. That's for damn sure. And it's really high-tempoed. I bet it's Beethoven. What do you think he's listening to in his head? Anybody want to guess what Barry is dancing to inside of his head? Give me a song. What do you think? Barry, what are you dancing to? It sounds like this Funky Town. The theme song to Cops, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Ga-ba-dung, ga-da-bung, da-dang, ba-dang, bang, ba-da-ding, da-dang, 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 dang, dang, bing, da-dang, da-dang, da-ding, ding, 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 da-dang, ba-dang, da-dang, bang. Bad boys. Hey, that was pretty good, right? Get out of here, Barry. Get the fuck out of here. We're tired of watching you. Okay, here we go. We're out of here, Steve. See you later. Good to see you after all these months. Dweeb, see ya. We are heading to one of my, I got really a lot of favorite places. But for learning and tutelage, the law library is my favorite. Here we go. We are going to the law library. It's calm, isn't it? The dripping of the water. The wind blowing through the tunnel. Oh, so refreshing. So much better than that other tunnel, the one leading to PP13. Yeah. Hey, well, this is my law library. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? All right. So we're going to read the affidavit real quick because we know what's said. All right. But it ain't said. On Saturday, August 6, 22, approximately 1600 hours, just received a phone call from the correctional institution. There's a male on their property filming. All right, I'll just call you counselor, okay? Counselor. I've not been mean to you at all this whole time. I've not denigrated you. I've conducted myself in a professional manner. I've complied with every rule and regulation of the magistrate court. I have done everything in my power, including to driving down there 3 fucking times to pick up discovery that you said you were going to get to me when it was the day of or the day after. So I've taken out of my time 4 hours drive each time, which is no big deal. You need to really, I'm going to give you some advice. And I said this before to you when this all started months ago. Drop it, man. You have no chance. There is no winnable solution here for you. If there was, I'd be up on federal trespassing charges in a federal court, right? Does that make sense, counselor? I'm going to treat you with respect because that's what I've done up to this point. 8 months. Male filming their property and has been asked several times to leave the property and refused to do so. This trooper at the time was performing a sex offender registration at the Welsh detachment and advised C.O. Willis that this trooper would respond after the registration was complete. At approximately 1743 hours, Trooper L.A. Beggs and this trooper arrived on scene and observed a silver Ford Escape bearing West Virginia registration deed. This trooper exited his vehicle, and as this trooper approached the accused, whom has yet to be identified, exited his vehicle with a black GoPro camera mounted on his shoulder via a shoulder holster and a cellular phone, which he docked on a tripod and asked to record the interaction. This trooper didn't object to be recording as he already knew that he was an auditor and he was going to fuck him. I mean, I'm sorry, counselor. I didn't mean to put that in there. This trooper didn't object to being recorded as there are no laws prohibiting the public from recording and advised the accused of the same. This trooper asked the accused for his name, and he identified as a AKA Tugga misspelled. But that's all right. This trooper explained the reason for the interaction, and this interaction, he doesn't even call it an investigation, which means what? Counselor? I feel like I'm educating you, counselor. Okay, just like I educated the trooper. What is an interaction? Is it a detention? Or is it an arrest? Or is it, what's that thing called? The other thing when a cop talks to you. What's it called? Come on, people. Come on, people. Consensual conversation. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you. I almost slipped up there. Ellie saved me. For the interaction, and this trooper was called to investigate. He was called to investigate a trespassing complaint, which was called into the blah, blah, blah. Tugga stated he wasn't trespassing and became argumentative. How dare you teach me the law, sir? I'm Ricky Dicky Jones. Me and Mr. Jones, Trooper Jones. Oh, sorry, Trooper Jones. Madam, you have no chance based upon that alone, and we haven't even gotten 2 paragraphs in. Madam, I'm giving you everything that I'm going to do in court. As a matter of fact, I'm giving you exonerating evidence, which you now are obliged to turn over to the court. I'm following the rules. How about you? Well, we'll see how much rules you've been following. This is a video testament to the facts of the case that exonerate me, so you're duty bound. Madam? Okay, here we go. Isn't this fun? This is what I do in the law library, deep down in the cavern, safe. Well, not so much safe anymore. They know where I'm at. I'm going to have to move again. Sorry. But anyhow, you will help me with that. You helped me the last time I had to blow the fucking place up. Okay. But I digress. Let's get back into this, this affidavit. Became argumentative and with the trooper about recording the prison. This trooper explained to Tugga several times their interaction wasn't trespassing because 15-foot easement, etc., alongside the road. We saw that, blah, blah, blah. He's explaining what I'm explaining. This trooper spoke with Tugga for several minutes till finally this trooper requested Tugga's identification. And he stated he didn't have to identify himself because he wasn't trespassing due to the easement. This trooper again explained the reason for the stop was because of a trespassing complaint, which was a criminal investigation. And he would have to produce his identification. Tugga refused 2 more times to identify himself, at which time, after Tugga said he was remaining silent, instantly was arrested. I mean, fuck. I put that in there, counselor. Madam, counselor. You understand that concept of a person saying, I remain silent, and then instantly reaches for his fucking handcuffs and says, you're under arrest. Ricky Dicky Jones, that's your boy. That's your investigator, trooper extraordinaire. Are you going to rest your career on this douchebag, counselor? And I'm being nice to you. I could be a dickhead. Tugga continued to argue as the reason that he was trespassing 15 to 50, blah, 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 blah. He said, my car was broke down. Tugga refused any assistance. This trooper spoke to Tugga for several minutes till the trooper finally again explained the reason for the stop was because of a trespassing complaint, not a crime. Is a complaint counselor, Adam counselor? Is a complaint a crime? And if it's not a crime, then did I have to identify? A complaint is a much higher, lower standard than reasonable articulable suspicion to detain for further investigation, to find fact, to gather probable cause. I found a drone video that the prison sent up moments after Tugga got here, and he caught him dead to rights running through the fucking field naked. That's what the drone video captured. Come here and look. We got it downloaded already. See, Trooper? Look at the size of dick on that motherfucker. I know, you need a fucking microscope. I just mentioned it because there is none. But anyhow, he got big balls. That's what you would do, madam. That's a proper investigation. Going to the people that called and say, what are the facts that you have that he trespassed? Ricky Dicky, the super trooper investigator extraordinaire, knew that he was going to be famous for taking care of this piece of shit. Okay, we refused to identify 2 more times, at which time this trooper advised Tugga he was under arrest, and he started to backtrack. Tugga backtracked and stated he would identify himself and his license was in his vehicle. Sir, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. Please let me get my wallet. Can you did you see me do that? No. You saw me say, let me get my wallet. Nothing more, nothing less, in a distressed fucking voice. A disbelieving voice, because when you get handcuffs slapped on you, you kind of fucking separate yourself from your body. It's a surreal experience to have fucking torture cuffs put on you. So, counselor, I'll continue to give away my case to exonerate myself in the freedom for all to view. Okay, started backtrack and stated he would identify. No, what I did is I did the right fucking thing, trooper. What I did, counselor, Adam counselor, is did the right thing. Within seconds of being told I was under arrest, I was willing to forfeit my license. Not only my ID, verbal, I was willing to forfeit my license, and I did. That's called following the fucking law. Sorry, Con. It's hard to keep my tongue. And I'm sure you've used that word once or twice, probably about me. But, hey, I'm a big boy. This trooper, after securing Ballin, a.k.a. Tugga, in the rear of his patrol car vehicle and securing the evidence, obtained a video statement from Willis, who had contacted this trooper originally. Willis stated he had received reports of a white male, approximately 800 pounds, bigger than that fucking mountain, with a red hat, a big Johnny Cash fucking shirt on with the flip me off. He's flipping me off. And he's wearing blue shorts with fucking brown fucking shoes. Oh. Willis, what? Willis didn't say any of that? Counselor? Madam Counselor? Isn't that the standard things you would want to know on a phone call? And maybe this is why you don't call the state troopers direct. Maybe you might need to get a dispatcher who's trained to take these calls. Yeah, he obtained a video statement of Looney. He says Mooney, but his name is Looney. But that's all, folks, right, Pache? Looney stated Ballin's demeanor was argumentative, and at one point he moved from their property into the roadway daring him to strike him. gonna strike you. You better get the fuck away. I'm gonna punch you right in the motherfucking mouth. That's a fucking lie. And guess what? That's caught on my body cam. And guess what? All of this interaction with Looney, bleep, 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 that's all, folks, is on camera. So, where's my camera? Where is my phone? Can anybody guess where my camera and phone is? Can we play that game? Where is my phone and camera? For 8 months. Coming up on 8 months. The state police have it. They had it. The state trooper crime lab had my phone. That's exactly right, Ellie. I was not charged with a violent crime. I was not charged with threatening, inciting violence, disorderly conduct. Very good, Ellie. Discovery. Up here in a second. This is beautiful. You're going to love this motion. Watch. Enable a speedy trial with no further delay. Right? See it? Isn't it beautiful? Defendant requests. The Sixth Amendment guarantees the right of the criminal defendant, the right to a public trial without unnecessary delay, the right to a lawyer, the right to an impartial jury, and the right to know who your accusers are and the nature of the charges against you. The warrantless arrest was on 6 August 2022. This is plenty of time for the prosecutor to have brought these charges to trial. SCOTUS, Barker versus Wingo, 1972. A defendant's constitutional rights to a speedy trial cannot be established by any inflexible rule, but can be determined only on an ad hoc balancing basis in which the conduct of the prosecution that the defendant and the defendant are weighed. The court established a 4-part test in which the courts are left to assess this right on a case-by-case basis, weighing the reason for the delay, the length of the delay, whether or not the defendant asserted their rights to a speedy trial, whether or not, and prejudice to the defendant. Do you see where I'm going? The defendant filed verbal motions in pretrial, motions for discovery. The defendant has not interfered with the court's busy schedule with delay tactics and frivolous motions, as the fucking prosecutor's done. The defendant has been under state confinement for 7 months by this court and has been patient with the process of litigation up to this point. However, if the prosecutor and its taxpayer-funded staff cannot gather their own evidence added, in a timely fashion, then that is no fault of the defendant. To wit, the defendant should not suffer any further undue punishment by the magistrate-ordered state confinement. This unnecessary delay is in violation of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, malicious prosecution. West Virginia State Police Organization has recently been under investigation by the DHS for possible corrupt acts of a substantial portion of the leadership team. A reasonable person can deduce a correlation between the chaos at the top levels of the West Virginia State Police and the delay in acquiring drone footage. Oh, I forgot. I found this after the drone footage. Okay, I'll get to that. State-owned evidence, emphasis added, to the prosecutor in this case. There has been no oversight or training by the leadership of the West Virginia State Police to its subordinate troopers. Thereby, I claim this case is being prosecuted by 2 rogue state troopers, one being a leader, making up their own laws along the road in order to entrap the press in an unlawful cycle of criminal prosecution in lieu of a lawful conviction, punishment. Read that, would you? Would you just read that poetry? I think it's poetry. What do you think? I'm arguing that because there has not been a speedy trial, that I'm being punished just because of the prosecution process. It's beautiful. The prosecution has had access to the defendant's cell phone and GoPro 360 for 7 months. These videos have not been entered into discovery as evidence for trial. I claim the same erosion of trust, oversight, lack of training, and chaos from the highest levels of the West Virginia State Police is another correlation between the delay in acquiring privately owned property, emphasis added, from the state, West Virginia State Police as well. The prosecution has exculpatory evidence given in discovery. 2021 Fourth Circuit Wingate versus Fulford, maps indeed. I motion this court to order the prosecution of this case post haste, or all charges be dropped due to undue delay by the prosecutor, prosecuting staff, and state police. This motion is to ensure my right to a speedy trial. What do you think? This is what I was talking about. The prosecutor, 5 days before trial last week, 5 days before trial last week, my trial was set for this Thursday. Last week, they sent me a document dump from the West Virginia State Troopers lab on a thumb drive that was delivered in the mail 5 days before trial. 14,000 files came off of my GoPro and my iPhone, more my iPhone. They said that they had video on that dealt with trespassing. I've reviewed the videos. There were only 2 videos captured by the West Virginia State Crime Lab. Miss McCabe. So, the reason why they had a month delay is this. Miss Brittany Puckett, the West Virginia in the above matter hereby move this court to continue this case from current scheduled date of February 21st. This motion is based upon the grounds the state was contacted by Trooper Jones and was advised that the West Virginia Crime Lab will not have the drone footage copied until next week, and he will pick it up then. Therefore, we respectfully request a continuance in this matter. They gave me this on a Friday. Emailed it to me. My court date was on Tuesday after a holiday. They emailed me this fucking thing on a Friday, on a long weekend, holiday weekend, knowing my trial was on Tuesday. You call that fair, Mz.Phukitpuckett? 5 days before trial on a fucking long weekend. You think that's fair? You think that follows discovery rules for magistrate? No, hell no, it doesn't. So now you know why I'm fucking putting this shit out now. This is bullshit. I've left everybody alone down there. I've done things properly. Now I'm coming out, and I need your help, people. I need you to call the West Virginia State Troopers and see if they need anybody to, see if you want, there's employment opportunity, okay? Coming up soon. So apply to the West Virginia State Troopers and go to their website. Check them out. Let them know what you think, okay? Yes. And where did the drone footage come from? There was never any drone footage the whole entire fucking 7 months. Who mentioned drone footage, white man? What are you talking about, Willis? Drone footage. They contacted me and they said, oh, we got drone footage with this fucking letter. Trooper Jones is getting it next week when it's downloaded. I said, what drone footage? I called him up and I said, you got eyes in the sky to prove that I wasn't running naked in their field? I went, yay, yay. I said, great. I like drone footage. I like eyes in the sky. Bring it on. Thank you, prosecutors. I mean, it's a little bit late in the game to be bringing new evidence, but you're allowed to bring new evidence. It's proper to bring new evidence. But 5 days before trial, or, so that a month went by. Now I get my new court date for a trial. They dump all these documents on me from my iPhone. They dump video on me, 2 videos with other humans. And a lot of people can relate who live their lives online. So I do this to educate also, because we are in the law library and I'm educating through real life experience in real time. This is what's called real time TV, not reality TV. Okay? This is actually fucking happening to me now. Not some fucking gold mine that where, the fucking thing breaks down. We have many broken down parts in real time that we could make fun of and laugh and cringe at. But here we go. She continued. So I filed a motion. You want to see the motion? To quash the prosecutor's continuance. I want to go to trial now. Meow.